What is going on, everyone? Israel back again with another review. In today's video, I kind of want to talk about some of the surprising teams of April. We obviously get into the last days of April. First month of the season is pretty much concluded. And I want to talk about some of the surprise teams and some of the interesting things across the league going on. So we'll go through this division by division. We're starting with the AL East. I mean, obviously, I think the big teams are the Rays for me. I mean, 20-5 throughout their first 25 games, playing really well baseball right now. I mean, they were, 20-3 before they lost two in a row. So playing really well baseball overall. And I honestly don't think a lot of people expected that 13-0 streak, to be honest, and they still are really good. Obviously, they had some key injuries with their pitching staff, so I think that's why people don't really think they're going to be that good of a team. So now that they have a full pitching staff, good to go, I think they look like, one of the best pitching staffs in the league, to be honest. So that's pretty impressive from them. Their bullpens look pretty good. And even their hitters are crazy, with our Randy Rosarena, obviously. He has had that monster Mexico run and then able to bring that into the season with the guys. I mean, I think that was pretty huge as well and had a definitely impact on that tournament and everything like that. So Rays are looking very solid in this division. I think they're going to be my standout team, as well as a lot of other teams. I mean, the Baltimore Orioles I'm very happy about this season. And the two big teams, the Yankees and Boston, are in 4th and 5th. So interesting in that division as well. So when we go over the AL Central, it's kind of a weird division for me because it's always been Cleveland and Minnesota recently, right? It's always been these two teams, they're trying to fight for that first AL Central, spot. This year, I think it's definitely the Twins. They definitely look like the more compact team to actually win something. I mean, they got guys like Pablo Lopez was a good trade. The Carlos Correa pickup, I think, is still good. They've obviously had a lot of good guys. Byron Buxton's not injured for once, so that's a positive for them. And on the Cleveland side, I don't really know what is going on with their team in general. Like, I haven't watched much of Cleveland's baseball, at least this season yet. And it just seems like they win one, they lose one. They win one, they lose one. So, bit of a rocky road of April. Maybe they'll kick back into form in May. But yeah, just not looking good for them overall. So the AL West is actually really interesting right now. Texas is currently leading this division, which I think is a little bit of a surprise for most people. I kind of knew this Texas roster was going to be really good. Didn't really know they're going to be this good this fast. I thought it would at least be 2024 they'd start to win. But yeah, 14-10 through their first 24 games is pretty good. And they actually played some pretty good opponents as well. So kind of interesting overall. But yeah, that team's looking really good. The Angels also have been playing well. They're 12-12, which, most of the time we don't really expect that from the Angels. So interesting division overall from some of these rosters, some of these teams playing really well. And I don't know if that's the start of the April effect, which we've seen throughout seasons. Like, normally Seattle has a really good April, but this year they're not really having that good of an April at 11-13. So yeah, I don't know. I think, it kind of is still in effect. It's like that Mickey Mouse period. And then the team starts, going hot streaks or loose streaks. But I don't know. I think a lot of things can change if you start the season off really bad compared to if you start the season off really good. So let's go on the AL East. A perfect example that I think is the Phillies this season. I mean, they've started off this season really bad. They're 12-13, just now catching up to 500 over April. So not the best for them. Obviously they lost the World Series. You'd figure they'd be in a better spot right now, but not really. And then, this division's just really been the Mets and the Braves fighting out for first and second. So nothing crazy in the East. Let's go over to the Central, which has been the most interesting division by far for me. You have the Pittsburgh Pirates leading this division at 17-8, which they're looking really good. They obviously just beat LA, and they're looking really solid overall. So excited to see what this Pittsburgh team can do, because looking at the beginning of the season, I thought, okay, this team could probably get like 3rd place. I was thinking 3rd, 4th place maybe in this division because it's so competitive with a couple of these rosters at least. And they're performing really well at the start of this season, so that's impressive to see with guys like Andrew McCutchen. Obviously, Brian Reynolds signed that massive contract. The O'Neill Cruz thing kind of hurts them, but they've been performing well without him. So it's been pretty crazy overall for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and I love to see that continue for them. And the same thing with the Milwaukee Brewers as well. I mean, they finally learned how to hit a baseball, and now they're 16-9. So they've been playing really well as well. So you like to see that from a team that's really good at pitching, that can struggle on the hitting sometimes. They're able to get some games together. And then the Cardinals for this division really start the season 9-15. I don't know what's going on over there in St. Louis. Thought they had a good strategy this year. They obviously picked up Contreras. I thought this team was going to be good with guys coming back from the World Baseball Classic, but hasn't really transferred over, as you can see. So I don't know. This division's kind of getting weird for me. I don't know where I really stand on this one or how it's going to level out because, I thought St. Louis would be first. I thought Milwaukee was second, Cubs third, Pittsburgh, and then Cincinnati. But it's playing really interesting, so we'll see about that one. And the NL West, it's been really interesting too. Arizona is currently leading the division. Didn't think I'd be seeing that. When I first looked at their schedule, I was like, okay, they got to play LA, San Francisco, LA again. I think they then played Milwaukee after that. I was like, okay, they got a really hard schedule. So I thought it was kind of going to be kind of on the downhill for them with that hard April schedule. But they're 14-12, so they've definitely performed against these good teams. So which only means that this team could potentially be a good playoff run team in the long future. Obviously, we don't know what happens at the deadline. But, I think this team, can low-key be an underdog team heading into this, season and everything like that, because they've been performing really well in the NL West. So got to tip it to them beating their, division rivals, and they've been just performing well. And, as the season goes on, it's going to get a little bit easier for them. So we'll see how they do, but they got to win the key games against their rivals and the games they should win. So they could do that. They should be good. And then this division's been weird. I mean, LA, San Francisco, San Diego have been playing, they're almost at 500 level. It's been kind of weird for those teams so far because they've been up and down and up and down. Obviously, we've seen Tatis come back for San Diego. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting with those three teams and how this NL West plays out. But Arizona, Pittsburgh, I think are top teams that kind of stand out to me. Texas is another one. And then I think even the Rays, because I think everyone always underestimates the Rays. And, they've been performing well, 14-2 at home. So got the best home record in the league. So pretty good overall this season. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about April so far. It's been a pretty interesting month of baseball. And I kind of want your guys' thoughts on, if I chose the right teams, which teams think are underperforming, because I didn't really cover those teams as much. But it's been really interesting. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everyone.